These Swedish 5-year-olds are hammering together what they dreamed up themselves. Older students from the technical school in Nyström, a small town in southern Sweden, are helping to build a sustainable playground. The wood is all certified eco-friendly, there are lots of birdhouses and a roof with solar cells. Sustainable from the word go. The idea is that applying this sort of principle generally can short-circuit global crisis or help cure it. Innovation is also a hot topic for the EU Parliament's election campaign in Sweden. The one-year project in Nyköping is part of a concept called Global School. The aim is to introduce the sustainable development concept in all schools for all subjects. Nyköping is top of the class. Out of 100 sustainable development prizes awarded by the Swedish Education Board, Nyköping schools have won 14.
Small ones have been involved from the very start in the project. They have been asked to draw their dream playground and what it should look like. So their voices have been heard, their voices have been respected. So democracy is part of the project.
Over the space of 2 years, the local project leader has visited 53 schools and met 1,500 teachers. Nyköping has 2 of these sustainable development coordinators on the town payroll. From the ground up, the focus is local challenges. Initiatives like this have spread all over the Sörmland district. Next stop, Katrineholm. In recent years, the district has earned a reputation as among the most dynamic in all of Europe. Its not-so-secret weapon is investment in education and innovation, even in small rural communities. Katrineholm hired an EU coordinator who checks out available funding and an innovation advisor whose job it is to prompt the teachers and kids.
The advantage of working with this kind of program is that the children get used to solving problems which come up. You get higher motivation and, over time, you get very good entrepreneurs or very good employers.
The task set for these adolescents is to program a robot. The key motive is to spur constructive competition and team cooperation. In a friendly way, the Sörmland district encourages competing among children, towns and development models to find innovative solutions fastest. The results are shared. That's Sörmland's winning ticket. We've seen 2 communities of less than 30,000 inhabitants, now to Eskilstuna, which is bigger than both of them put together. 1,700 jobs have been lost here over the past 3 months. But with a long history of industry, the town is fighting the problems by investing in education and innovation. The old locomotive factory was recently transformed into a business incubator, nurturing young companies through the most vulnerable early phases. These young women are the latest winners of the regional Young Enterprise competition. In their graduating year, they developed a new business idea.
The idea was to, get a bracelet that you can use every day and that has perfume in it. So you just can, during the day, you just can, push out some perfume and smell good.
So what happens next? What are they wishing for?
Well, that many people buy our product, of course, and maybe this could be, a real big company.
In Europe's current economic context, one of the big questions under debate is whether to have more or less protection, more or less competition. Sweden's answer is to try more both, to build new innovators up to strength so they can contribute in the free market.
They have the real products, real services, real money, and that's the whole thing. They are thrown out from a theoretical world, as the school is, into the real world.
In Olsson, since last year, the jobless rate has tripled to almost 3%. Yes, that's still low, but it has meant discussing budget cuts, choices. Should the music school close or local taxes increase? The mayor anticipates worse times to come. The biggest employer in town has announced at least 350 jobs have to go. The SSAB steel mill is one of the cleanest in the world, specializing, for instance, in steel for wind turbines. But the company is still Sweden's second largest producer of CO2. The mayor presses the company and the government to take climate protection measures further, but doesn't sustainable development put jobs in industry at risk?
I think that is the opposite. Now in the crisis, we should really talk about the environment and the pollutions, because this is the opportunity for us to do something about it, to change the whole economy and the society into green jobs and new technology.
Olsson takes sustainable development seriously, converting to low-energy street lighting, for instance. It's another example of Sörmland constructive competition. Which town can reduce power consumption the most? But with the government forecasting possible 12% national unemployment in the next 2 years, can Sörmland's development strategy survive? The district boasts a high number of startups. But back in Nyström, we drop in on TD Light. The small company patented a method to replace old fluorescent tubes with LEDs, which use up to 80% less energy. But it needs €3 million to launch full-scale production, and venture capital is thin on the ground.
It was easier for a couple of years ago. Now the whole finance market is down, and the people don't want to risk their savings as easy as before.
Economic crisis and climate change close to home come up for debate in Malmö this month, when 1,200 local decision-makers from all over Europe attend the Council of European Municipalities. What do young Sörmland politicians recommend?
The Malmö meeting will make it possible for local decision makers to see what others do and get good experience from that, and also get the courage to maybe try things that they never have tried before.
I agree with you, and I think that the issues they should discuss should be issues regarding sustainable technology, sustainable growth, and how they could fight the economic crisis and also the climate crisis at the same time.
What we've done here, and what I think we have to do on a local level, is fight the youth unemployment, because I think we have a responsibility to give young people their first experience of a job.
Just 1 out of 4 Swedes know the European elections are coming up in June. How to get their attention?
The most important thing in this campaign is to build a social Europe built on growth by sustainable development, sustainable businesses, a sustainable lifestyle for the Europeans.
The EU should deal with less issues and be better on the issues that EU deal with.
We also have to campaign on getting people to vote, getting people to go and cast their vote on June the 7th.
Climate change is the top EU election concern for 7 out of 10 Swedes. But the politicians face a challenge convincing them Europe can make a difference. Less than a third of Swedes voted in the 2004 elections.